When I first met Nathan, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Tall, kind, successful, and just the right amount of mysterious. We met at a bookstore. Yeah, seriously, like something out of a movie, both reaching for the same worn-out copy of 1984. He laughed, I smiled, and somehow that simple moment became the first page in what I thought was going to be a perfect story. Nathan was charming, not in a flashy, fake way. It was subtle, thoughtful, the kind of man who remembered the name of your favorite childhood pet and brought flowers just because it was Wednesday. My friends adored him. My mom said, "He's a keeper," and I believed her. Within a year, we were engaged. He proposed during a weekend trip to Asheville on a foggy mountain morning while we were hiking. He knelt on a rock outcrop with the entire forest behind him like a painting and asked me to be his forever. I cried, said yes, and thought, really believed, that I had found the person I'd grow old with. But then things started getting weird. The first red flag was small, barely a flicker. We were planning the wedding, talking about guest lists, when I brought up meeting his parents. He froze. "I told you," he said quickly. "They live abroad. It's complicated." "You? Never mentioned where?" I replied, trying to stay casual. He looked down, fiddling with his watch. "Eastern Europe. My dad works for some oil company. They move around a lot. Not big on video calls." I wanted to push, but something in his voice made me stop. The way he avoided eye contact, the way he explained it all too quickly like he'd rehearsed it. But I let it go, until the second red flag. A few weeks later, I accidentally found a photo in his drawer while searching for a charger. It was a picture of Nathan, looking younger, with a woman and 2 children. One boy, maybe 5. One girl, barely a toddler. They were sitting in front of a Christmas tree. The woman looked close to him. Not just a friend close. The way her hand rested on his shoulder, the way he looked at her. It wasn't casual. I stared at the photo for a long time, heart pounding, brain spinning in circles. When I finally confronted him, he didn't deny it. But he didn't explain much either. "That's my cousin and her kids," he said flatly. "I used to help out. Her husband was away. It's nothing." "Why was this hidden in your drawer?" I asked, holding the photo up. "I wasn't hiding it," he lied. "It just got buried." The thing is, Nathan was always neat. He didn't let things just get buried. That excuse felt wrong, but again, I let it slide. I wanted to believe him. I was in love. I was already designing my dress. But the real unraveling began 2 months before the wedding. It was a Saturday morning. Nathan said he had a guy's weekend with a few old college friends in Chicago. He kissed me goodbye, wheeled his suitcase out the door, and left me standing in our apartment with coffee in my hand and a to-do list for the wedding in the other. I didn't expect to hear from him much. Nathan was always a little distant when he traveled, but I still texted him, "Let me know you got there safe." No reply. An hour passed, then 2, then 6. That night, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. "Hi. Is this Ava?" the woman's voice asked. Confused, I said yes. "You don't know me, but you need to know something about Nathan." My heart dropped. She said her name was Rachel. Her voice was calm, almost practiced. She told me she'd been married to Nathan for 5 years, that they had 2 kids together, that he was with her that weekend at a family event in a small town just outside Chicago, and that I was the other woman. I sat on the floor, literally collapsed, like the air had been knocked out of me. "I didn't know about you either," she added. "I found your number in his email. I saw the messages, the photos. I'm sorry, I just thought you deserved to know." I couldn't breathe. I asked her for proof, and she sent me pictures. Him with her. The same man. Same eyes. Same smirk. Their wedding photo. A video of him playing with their kids. My fingers were shaking so badly I dropped my phone. Nathan came back late Sunday night like nothing had happened. I waited for him on the couch, phone in hand, all the photos Rachel sent lined up like daggers. He walked in, smiled, and kissed me on the forehead. "Hey, babe. Missed me?" I stood up slowly. "Sit down." He looked confused. "What's wrong?" I stared at him, my chest burning. "Tell me the truth, Nathan. About Rachel, about the kids, about everything." His face changed instantly. Gone was the soft, calm fiancé. In his place was a man I didn't recognize. Cold, calculating. "You talked to her," he said, not even surprised. I wondered how long it would take. I couldn't speak, couldn't cry. I just stood there, frozen. "You don't understand. Ava," he started. "It's not what you think," but it was, and deep down, I knew it. I stared at Nathan, the man I thought I knew, and felt like my entire world had been ripped in half. "You lied to me," I whispered. "For 2 years." Nathan rubbed his face, sat down on the edge of the couch like he suddenly weighed 1,000 pounds. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this." "Wasn't supposed to happen," I repeated, my voice rising. "What was supposed to happen, Nathan? You were just going to marry me and keep your other wife and kids a secret forever?" "No," he said quickly. "It wasn't like that. Rachel and I, we were falling apart. I was going to leave her." "You were going to leave her?" I snapped. "You still live with her. You went to a family event with her this weekend." His face turned pale. "It's not what you think." "Stop saying that," I shouted. "I saw the pictures." I heard her voice. "She's not lying." Nathan didn't respond. He just stared down at his hands, silent. That silence told me everything. The next week was a blur. I didn't cry, not really. I felt numb. Like I was watching my life from a distance, like it belonged to someone else. I stayed at my sister's house and she tried to be supportive, but I could tell she wanted to scream, "I told you something was off." I couldn't blame her. Everyone saw the cracks except me. Nathan sent messages. Long ones, some apologetic, some angry, some trying to manipulate me with old memories. One said, "You and I are real. Rachel and I were just holding on to something broken. You're my future." Another one said, "I didn't lie because I wanted to hurt you. I lied because I was afraid of losing you." And then this, "If you tell anyone, you'll ruin more lives than just yours. Think about the kids." That one made me sick. A week later, Rachel messaged me again. "Can we meet?" she asked. Every part of me screamed no. But curiosity, or maybe some twisted need for closure, pushed me to say, "Yes, we met at a cafe halfway between our cities." She looked tired, hollow, like someone who hadn't had a real night of sleep in years. But there was strength in her eyes, too. The kind of quiet rage that only betrayal can build. We didn't talk much at first. Just drank coffee in silence. Then she reached into her purse and pulled out a stack of printed emails. Screenshots, photos. "I thought you should see all of it," she said. It was everything. Their marriage license, family holiday photos going back 7 years, emails between Nathan and his employer where he listed both her as an emergency contact and me as his partner in another city. He was living a double life, officially. "How long did you know about me?" I asked, my voice barely audible. She took a breath. 6 months. 6 months? I stared. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I was scared," she admitted, "and ashamed. I thought maybe it was just some affair, that it would go away. But when I found your save-the-date card in his drawer, I realized he wasn't stopping." "You still live with him?" "No. I kicked him out last week." Her lips curled bitterly. "But he's staying with a friend, still calling, still pretending none of this is that bad." We sat there in mutual heartbreak. It was strange, bonding with the wife of the man who almost became my husband. But it also felt necessary. Healing. We both got played. After that, I blocked Nathan. Cold turkey, changed my number, canceled the wedding, told my friends and family the truth. No matter how humiliating it felt, the worst part wasn't the betrayal. It was the fact that I still missed him. I'd wake up some mornings and forget everything, just for a second, and then it would all come crashing down like a wave of concrete. I missed the version of Nathan that never existed. But the story wasn't over yet, because 3 weeks later, I got a call from a woman I didn't know. "Is this Ava?" she asked. My stomach dropped. "Yes." "I'm so sorry to bother you. My name is Lena. I think we might be dating the same person." I froze, phone pressed to my ear, heart thudding like a drum. Another woman? I couldn't even speak at first. "Lena?" I finally managed. "What? Do you mean we might be dating the same person?" She took a deep breath, and in a rush of words that sounded like she'd practiced them in her head 100 times, she said, "His name is Nathan, but he told me he goes by Nick. We've been seeing each other for almost a year." My legs buckled. I sat down on the edge of my bed, handshaking. I'm sorry, what?" I said, even though I'd already heard her loud and clear. "I found your number," she continued, "because I saw his name pop up on a wedding website. I clicked it, found your registry, your pictures, you in a white dress trying on veils, him standing beside you like it was his first and only wedding, and I had to call." It was like déjà vu, but worse. Like the universe wasn't just kicking me while I was down, it was dancing on my grave. "Can you meet me?" she asked. I need to talk to someone who knows what I'm going through. I can't tell my friends. I feel like a fool." I hesitated, but deep down, I already knew I would say yes. We met in a quiet park the next afternoon. Lena was younger than me, maybe mid-20s, and had this nervous energy like she'd been holding her breath for days. She wore a cardigan 2 sizes too big, and kept wringing her hands like she was trying to squeeze the truth out of her own skin. She looked at me and said, "He told me he'd never been married." I laughed. Bitter, hollow. "He told me his parents were diplomats in Europe. He told his wife I was just a friend from work. He told my sister he wanted 3 kids and a dog. I don't even know what his real name is anymore." "I feel like I've been dating a ghost," she whispered. "He's not a ghost," I said. "He's a con artist with a calendar and a very detailed lie." We compared notes, timelines, photos. He told Lena he was always busy on weekends because of freelance consulting. He told Rachel he had client meetings during holidays. He told me he was visiting friends or his remote job site. Turns out Nathan, or Nick, or whoever he really was running multiple lives in parallel, like a twisted version of a romantic timeshare. Lena had something I didn't: receipts. Not just metaphorical ones. Actual financial statements. She worked in finance, and she'd noticed that his Venmo activity didn't match his job, so she dug deeper. Turns out he had 2 active bank accounts under slightly different names, both receiving random deposits from odd consulting agencies. We pieced it together. He was getting paid, not from one job, but multiple side hustles, gigs even, small inheritances. The man lived off other people's generosity, bounced between cities, charmed his way into lives and wallets. He asked me to help him start a new business, Lena said. Wanted $10,000? I said no. That's when he got cold. He asked me to co-sign a lease, I admitted. I almost did. He told me he was buying land for his parents, she said. He told me he had no family, I whispered. We sat in silence. Angry, tired, empowered. That night, I did something I never thought I'd do. I made a burner Reddit account, and I posted everything. I didn't name him directly, didn't expose private details, but I wrote a post in a popular relationship forum titled, "My fiancé had a secret wife and a secret girlfriend, and that's not even the whole story." Within hours, it blew up. Thousands of comments, dozens of people messaging me with similar stories. A few even asking, "Wait, are you talking about this guy?" and attaching photos. Turns out, Nathan had done this before. He'd been engaged at least once more, possibly twice. Different names, slightly altered backstories, same patterns. I couldn't believe it. Then came the final twist. 3 days after that Reddit post went viral, I got a message from someone named Camille. She said, "I know where he is, and he's trying to run." She attached a blurry photo of Nathan, or Nick, or whoever, standing in line at a bus terminal, a single duffel bag slung over his shoulder. He looked scruffy, tired. The golden boy mask finally slipping. "I dated him 3 years ago," Camille wrote. "He told me his ex-wife cheated, that he was heartbroken, said I made him believe in love again. Then one day, he vanished." I sat there, holding my phone, shaking. This man wasn't just a liar. He was a serial imposter. I don't know what I expected to feel when I saw that final photo of Nathan at the bus station. Closure? Rage? Relief? But what I felt was emptiness. All the chaos, the secrets, the betrayal. It didn't end in a courtroom or a fiery confrontation. It ended with a coward running away under a different name, disappearing into a crowd like he never existed. I kept checking for updates. Camille said she tried to follow him, but he slipped away. Probably hopped on the first bus, headed somewhere. No one knew his name. He was good at that, starting over, but this time, it wouldn't be so easy. Reddit caught on quickly. People recognized him. More exes surfaced, women from college, a woman from Texas who said she lost $15,000 to a business venture he pitched, a bartender who said he used to show up under a different name every time. He was a pattern, not a person. And finally, someone said what we were all thinking. We should report him. So I did. Not just me. We, Lena, Rachel, Camille, and a few others who had spoken up. We filed reports, compiled timelines, shared documentation, fraud, identity manipulation, even possible bigamy. I don't know if they'll catch him. He was always careful, just under the radar. But now his photo is out there. His aliases are being flagged. He can't charm his way into lives so easily anymore. He burned too many bridges. For me, I spent months piecing my life back together, returned the dress, sold the ring, shut down the wedding website. My sister and I repainted my apartment together. It was symbolic in a way, like whitewashing the stains of everything he touched. I saw Rachel a few times after that. It was strange, bonding with someone who'd lived another version of my nightmare. But there was comfort in shared experience. Lena and I still text. She's dating again. Carefully, we joke that if we ever write a book, we'll call it We're all engaged to the same liar. There's still pain, don't get me wrong. I'll never fully understand how someone can be so calculated, so cruel, and still pretend to love you. But here's the thing I didn't expect. I'm stronger now. Not in that cliché survivor way, but in the quiet, everyday way. I ask better questions. I trust my instincts. I don't ignore the red flags just because the dream looks pretty. And I know one thing for sure. The truth always comes out. It may take time, heartache, and the help of strangers, but it will surface. No lie lasts forever. One day, a few weeks ago, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a single sheet of paper, no apology, no explanation, just a sentence. I loved you in my own way. No signature. I stared at it for a long time, then I lit a match and watched it burn. Some things don't deserve to be remembered.